Afternoon, everybody. 3:05 in Tennessee with Blackwood Amps and Power Supplies. Going to be knowing out a piece of RG213's 6-foot jumper for a local. And he wanted to see how I know one out. First off, you're going to have a rig expert to do this. If you ain't got a rig expert, you're not going to know a cable out or an antenna analyzer, because you got to see what you're doing. But I cut this piece about 6 foot 4 inches. You can see we got to get X down as close to 0 as we can get. So let me get this around here. I use these right here, PVC pipe cutters. They do work wonders. Yeah. And I'm going to lob off right now probably about 1/4 of an inch. We drop in, what is it, 22? Alright, let's lob a little more up. 21. You got to keep just cutting some off till you get X down to 0, as close as you can get it to 0. Okay, that's out. Okay, we're dropping. Down to what, 12? 11. 9. 6. 4. Getting close now. So I'm going to have to start cutting smaller pieces. I was cutting about 1 inch off at a time. Cut that 6 foot 4. Probably should have cut it about 6 foot 2 inches. We'll start taking smaller chunks now. Taking about 1/4 inch pieces. Alright, now we're getting down there now. You just got to keep lobbing it off. Oh yeah, we're down to 0.8. That's gonna be it. Okay, little bitty. 6. 3. Maybe one more. Ooh. That's very close. I'm on. That's another small piece. Okay, I'm stopping right there. That's a 0.02. About as close as you're going to get. Because you got to remember, you have to put the end on this thing. That's may change it a little, but when you got it that close right there, it ain't probably gonna make that much difference. Now what I'm gonna do is clean up the end here. And That's how you know it out. What happened? I'll turn it off. Alright, now, what I'm going to do now, since we got her nulled out, here's something. I put this end on before we started the video. You always take your ohm meter as you put an end on, and you check that sucker. Check, make sure that you're not grounded. No continuity there. Real good there. All right. I've been getting my ends from Max Gain System. Seem to be working fine. What I'm going to do, I'm going to measure this, see what we come out with. There's 4. 4. Almost 6 foot exactly. So next time I'm going to cut it about 6 foot 2 inches. So what we're going to do now is install the end. This is what he was wanting to see more than anything, I believe. I bought these stripping tools a few years back. I had a stroke and my hand don't work good. It was hard for me to do the pl259s about any of them because I ain't got grip in this hand hardly anymore. But this tool's fantastic. Get it DX Engineering. I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not real cheap. They're not cheap. I honestly don't remember what I gave for them now because it's been a while. You can go in there and check. This is the stripping tool. This is to put the PL250 screw it on. I'll show you here. But anyways, you have problems with your hands, and I have a hard time getting these things done. I'm getting ready to show you what this will do. Let me zoom on out there a little bit. They've helped me a whole lot. I don't run a lot of 213 anymore. I run a lot of RG400. A little easier to do after you figure it out. But with this here, it's not that big a problem. He don't run RG400. He's sort of on a budget. He can't afford to pay the price for RG400. It's a little more expensive than you can get the 213, but it's a good coax. I run it on about everything in here except for my feed line going to my antenna. Comes off of all my boxes, my drivers, and then run out of my big box of the antenna I use. I've got 218 or something like that. Anyway, there we go. It's got the first cut. And then you flip it over. I don't think it says second cut. But the other side is the second cut. So you go the first cut. So I want to tell you, this thing, you need to do it over a garbage can. I'm not right now, so you guys won't be able to see it. It will leave little shards of copper. So hold it over something or over a garbage can. And run it in there. Twist it till it just stops. You'll feel it. That's your first cut. All right, now your second cut. Run it in there. Same thing, just turn it to, you can feel it when it's done. This cut here is a little easier. You just cut this done. Then you got this. And you're ready to put an end on it. Let me make sure I got my thingamabob slid on there. I've done that several times. You get to put the thing on. Slide that on there. I get these from Max Gain Systems. They seem to be working fine. They're supposed to be a Teflon end. I've never burnt one. So now you just stick your pl259 and get it started. Get it in the hole, get it down there where she touches the things. Then you take this. Right there is the part number on that. And I'll show you the part number on that. They have kits. They have a kit for several different sizes. I just bought this for 213. That's all I'll ever need. But you just take this, screw it on. If she stops, then you just run her down there until you see the end come out. Then you're done. Then just screw it right back off. Then so you got your end out there. Hope you can see that. Right now you're ready to solder. I put the thing on. Yeah. I got this little vise, man. It makes things a lot easier. You sort of turn that cable where you want it and lock it down. Little vise on this. This ain't RG400, so you can't lay in there on that soldering iron. Get in there and get out, you know. Don't use a torch. Just use a good hot iron. I'm going to show you if I can zoom in there. What I do, I'll lay the tip of my iron right on that copper, and I'll take this solder. Hold on, my iron's what's the sleep on it. This stupid thing goes to sleep after about 30 seconds. I've got it set on the high setting, which it's about 8 or 9 years old, so I can't really complain. Weller makes a great iron. I've left that thing on, forgot about it, and everything else. All right, I'll leave a tip of my iron in there, and I'll daub this solder. Just daub it. Getting down in that copper. You'll see it wick in there. That actually return. Now that hole's done. I've seen people that don't solder these grounds. If they don't solder that ground, don't let them do your coax, because that's bad. You gotta solder the ground. I've had people bring their coax jumpers in here. None of the grounds will be soldered. You can take the end and just twist it. I said, dude, you ain't got no ground, you know. You gotta solder the ground. You know, these, Amphenol, they've got 4 holes. These Max Gain System, they just got 2. I don't know if that makes a big difference, but I've never had one to fail. Don't know. I know Amphenol, and these are not cheap either. They're not as expensive as an Amphenol, but these have got 2 holes. Again, just take the your tip in there on that copper and just hit that with your solder nut, or solder. You'll see it wick back in there. And right there's, boy, my darn phone's fogging up. I opened the door, but it's got steamy in here. But I don't know if you can see that. But that's what you want. Now we'll solder the tip. And on the tip, when you heat this up, it's going to wick back in through there. So be mindful of that. You don't want to just lay in there and keep running that solder in there, and then it'll get back there to the base and start building up and run out. Just get you a good bead in there, because it's going to solder to that brass tip. It will wick back. Just don't get, what I do is I'll heat that end up. When that wire starts taking solder, I'll feed it. You can watch it wick back in there. And then I'll stop. And I'll put some on in. Because that'll wick all the way back in there. And you keep laying it in there and it's going to fill that up, then run out. Then you probably, you got the means for a short. Because you got to remember, this ain't, this ain't the coax of the gods. It's the coax of the street people. But that's what you want right there. My camera keeps fogging up and it's steamy in here. Alright, now, last thing you want to do, you want to check it for a short. So you take your, everything's turning off on me. Check it, make sure you're not shorted out. Good continuity test. He's good. Good to go. Hope this helps somebody. A lot of people might not know what going out one is. Some of it I know a lot of people do. You get on there and watch any of the videos of D-Win or Danny. Danny does a lot of talking about coax length, and I'll let them listen to them. They know what they're talking about. Dudes are smart. But that's the way I do it. And if you want these tools from the X Engineering, I don't remember what the cost is. Maybe $60 or something like that. I don't remember. But if you got problems with your hands, or if you do a lot of coax jumpers, I mean, they'd probably help you a whole lot right here. Because after doing 6 or 8 coax jumpers, your dang fingers are going to start cramping up. But there you go. Hope this helps someone. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, and share. I'm just trying to build my channel a little bit so I can go live. You gotta have 50 subscribers before you can go live. Want to do, some water gates and live water gates and stuff like that. But you gotta have 50 subscribers before they'll let you go live. But anyway, if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. 305 in Tennessee. We'll see you later.